Good afternoon. Thank you for waiting. I apologize, we're running behind. We're here to conduct interviews for the vacancy in the circuit court, and you have applied, so can you please introduce yourself to the commission and tell us why you think you are qualified for that seat.
My name is Adam Warren, and I am qualified to run, for the seat because I can bring a positive contribution to the bench. As an assistant state attorney, I prosecuted thousands of cases. I also, as an assistant state attorney, worked in all the various divisions in the office, except for maybe the Jimmy Rice. I was assigned to the juvenile division for a number of years, and there I had a number of trials, bench trials. I also worked in the felony division, and I also worked as a felony intake attorney. I represented the state of Florida in the drug court program in St. Johns County. I was assigned to numerous motions for post-conviction relief and other motions to vacate sentences and illegal sentences under Rule 3800A. I also, as a career attorney at the 5th District Court of Appeal, I made recommendations to reverse or affirm cases, all types of cases, both civil and criminal, and all various types of everything from public charter school cases, dependency, family, delinquency, and had a good track record with my recommendations being followed by the court. As a private practitioner, I have experience both defending criminal cases and also prosecuting and defending litigants in civil cases. I practice family law. I'd say about 40% of my practice is family law. I also last year started to take on guardianship and probate cases. I also do a number of other areas, including landlord-tenant law, estate litigation. I prepare estate planning documents. I also prepare public records requests, contracts, real estate contracts, and a whole bunch of other types of cases, or pleadings that are filed in court, and also that obviously are more transactional and not filed with the court. And I love the law. It's my life. I'm passionate about it, and I believe I can bring a positive contribution to the bench.
Warren, tell us about your community involvement.
Until recently, I was serving on the Adolescent Advisory Committee for the Stewart SMA. Additionally, I worked pro bono attorney for the Hispanic Youth Club in Daytona. I also take on a lot of pro bono cases. I received recognition for my pro bono work as by the Community Legal Services in Mid-Florida. I also continue to take on pro bono cases. I have, in fact, on Monday, I'm going to be representing a young man in a IDEA proceeding, a mediation with the school. I also volunteer in landlord-tenant cases, and I also so that's primarily my involvement with the community.
It seems, unfortunately, in my opinion, there's been a trend of recently appointed judges having opposition, and judges are now routinely having to defend their seats. I know you've gone through that process, not successfully yet. Did you learn from that you think could help you if you had to defend the seat?
I learned a lot. I ran twice. On both occasions, I did make it into the general election. On the first occasion, there were five of us, and I did come in second out of 5, and had no prior experience with running for office. And then when I ran again for the circuit seat, there were 3 of us, and I again made it into the runoff. And while I didn't win, I did get 47% of the vote. And since that time, I have been more involved in the community, going to a lot of events and becoming, just getting connected with a lot of different groups.
Mr. Warren, this is Charlene Matthews.
Hi.
How are you?
Good, thank you, ma'am.
I would like to ask you, because you have appeared, sorry, we're having a little bit of a glitch, but I wanted to ask you, I know you've appeared in court a lot over the years, and besides your mother, tell me what judge you would be most likely to emulate yourself after if you were chosen for this position.
Judge Wendy Berger.
And tell me why.
Judge Wendy Berger, she follows the law, and I feel like I could always know where she was going to go with the case because she follows the law, and I think that's important. People need to know. It's important for judges to follow the law, and in fact, when you follow the law, you can usually predict the outcome, except in cases such as in family court. You have a lot of discretion. And that's very important for judges to know the standard of review that an appellate court will apply to a certain issue, because that tells you how closely they're going to look at your decision and how much discretion they're going to give you. In my experience at the Fifth District Court of Appeal, I saw the common mistakes that circuit court judges made. So I know those mistakes, and I know what not to do. And I'm sorry I'm digressing, but Judge Berger, because she follows the law and she has a consistent judicial philosophy of applying the law to the facts consistently.
Let me ask you, what did you learn from Judge Mendoza with your time with him? Because I wouldn't want to leave him out.
No, certainly not. Judge Mendoza, I learned a lot from Judge Mendoza. We tried a number of very serious cases together. And in fact, I write about at least one significant case that Judge Mendoza and I tried together, although there were a number of others. Judge Mendoza, he certainly knows how to come up with very persuasive arguments for the jury, and I could really appreciate that. And absolutely, he also he was a mentor when I worked at the state attorney's office. I learned so much from him.
How do you, when I look at the financial aspect, how do you make it work? When I look at the firm revenue and then salary, it's tough. So that how does that help you, impact you in terms of becoming a judge? What does that tell us, if anything?
I don't know how much you can really gather from that, because again, I love the law, and on a number of occasions I have I have left money on the table or taken cases to actually litigate the issue. It's not about the money, it's about the law for me. In fact, even when I worked at the state attorney's office, on one occasion, I was next in line for a raise, and I gave it up. I asked Bennett Ford to give it to another prosecutor, so that prosecutor would not leave and stay, because we had a really good team at the state attorney's office. And I would rather work with a experienced, good prosecutor than make more money. So again, I feel like, from my perspective, I'm in a unique position in that I don't have to worry about bringing in a certain amount of income, and that gives me the ability to take cases that other people may not be able to take, like some of the pro bono cases that I'm doing.
I worked with Bennett when he was at the public defender's office, and so he didn't want to reallocate what he took to himself.
Did you get a ride in the
They
Porsche?
get a ride. No, what is this? Because I've not seen it before, and it's a recent joinder on your part, according to the application. The Republican Conservatives Performing Beach Assembly, 2020 to the present. I just don't know, what is that group?
It was the Republican Club there in Ormond Beach, but the name just recently changed.
Okay, that's what I was, because I knew the club, but I
Yes,
just didn't
sir.
know what that, I just didn't know what that was.
Chuck Collins is the president.
Okay.
Do we have any other questions in Zoom land? Thank you so much, Mr. Warren.
Thank you. I
Thank you.
appreciate the opportunity.